Peace has not occurred. The Cold War is now among the people. After World War II, the Soviet Union and NATO have entered a Cold War. Many countries are against each other, and there's no resolution to this battle. We will await the results, and there's no telling to how long this war will last.
Our continent of Europe is now divided. We are two separate sides divided by communists and non-communists.
No one is safe. We must proceed with the events that may follow. Countries have gone against each other, and conflict has arisen unto everyone.
We have commenced agreements that will help European countries and unite them together again. Aid will be sent, and the people will be liberated.
Europe has been given aid and help, but the Asian countries are fighting for their independence. People are ripped from their homes and are forced to migrate to new land.
The Soviets have made an successful atomic bomb detonation. Truman has now made notion to commence the build of the atomic bomb to beat the Soviets to the game of the bomb.
We hear of a war that has begun in Korea. The peace that was supposed to settle in now is too far away to see, and now we know that nothing will really be coming to an end anytime soon.
The Cold War is upon us, and no one can know when it will be over.
Americans, don't patronize the Reds. You can drive the Reds out of radio, television, and Hollywood, but the Reds have made our screen and radio, TV Moscow's most effective fifth column in America. And the Reds of Hollywood and Broadway have always been the chief financial support of communist propaganda in America.
Did you hear about the young woman down the block left her family to marry a communist last week? She served in the mob of terror whose one mission is to destroy, trading her love, yielding kisses that invite disaster, destroy, and then kill.
The Red Menace must have poisoned her. It's the greatest threat to our nation today.
Better dead than red, I always say.
She'll have a hell of a time in that marriage. No tactics are too low for a communist. Lying, cheating, betrayal, ruin, even murder. She'll be dead or divorced by the end of the month.
One can only hope.
America is just being overtaken by these people. If it weren't for the loyal men and women like us and our husbands, we'd be doomed. There's no hope for the children of our nation if we don't fight.
You're absolutely right. In the eyes of a communist, a child is just something to be warped into shape. Godless, ignorant of moral responsibility, devoid of intellectual honesty, a creature of the state.
Thank God we will raise good Christian children that will learn to fight against the Reds just as we have.
I'll drink to that.
During the 1930s, and lasting over a decade, McCarthyism was used to incriminate and expose suspected communists. Civilians were tried before a government panel and accused of disloyalty and questioned of their political views.
Welcome. Today you are being tried before the House of the Un-American Activities Committee in suspicion for communist acts.
I refuse to cooperate with this trial.
Refusal to cooperate with this trial will result in you being in jail for contempt.
I refuse to cooperate with this trial.
Refusal to cooperate with this trial will result in you being blacklisted and fired from your job.
I refuse to cooperate with this trial.
I hereby sentence you to 10 years of jail time on the suspicion for spying for the Communist Party.
October 4th, 1957. The Soviet Union has launched the first artificial satellite into space, moving the Cold War into outer space and creating the space race.
The Soviet Union is advancing at speeds we cannot keep up with. There has to be something that we can do.
We must push math and science at the educational level.
They've done it! The Soviets have made it into space!
What? What are you talking about?
The Soviets have launched a satellite into space!
January 27th, 1967. The United States rehearsing the Apollo 1 to land the first man on the moon.
Apollo 1, do you copy?
We copy loud and clear, sir.
How long is the engines already?
Approximately 30 seconds, sir.
You guys got 30 seconds until the engines are ready, and we can get you guys up in the air.
Yes, sir. You nervous?
No, there's nothing to be nervous about. It's just another training exercise.
15 seconds.
Yeah, we've done this thing before. Everything should be all right. I just have a bad feeling, that's all.
3, 2, 1, take off! What just happened?
Unclear, sir. I think Apollo 1's on fire.
July 20th, 1969. The United States lands the Apollo 11 and the first man on the moon.
How much longer do you think?
It should be on any minute now.
Would you be a dear and turn on the television?
I guess. Kids, come out and watch the moon landing with us.
I'm going to watch the moon landing.
No, I want to watch the moon landing.
Why? You can both watch the moon landing with us.
Settle down now. The program is about to start.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to witness the finest hour in United States history. The Apollo 11 shuttle with its astronaut pilots Michael Collins, Neil Armstrong, and Edwin Buzz Aldrin are about to land on the surface of the moon. After 78 hours of flight time, the Apollo 11 shuttle has entered lunar orbit and is about to touch down on the surface. We have live audio from NASA and the shuttle Tranquility. Let's listen in.
Apollo 11, do you copy?
Yes, sir, loud and clear. We are beginning our descent and are about to touch down.
Are they going to make it?
They should make it.
Touchdown in 3, 2, 1. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Eagle, we copy you on the ground. You've got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing now. Thanks a lot.
It's 3 a.m., November 9th, 1979, at Colorado's North American Aerospace Defense Command. The United States has just received word that the Soviet Union has fired missiles at us. As it turns out, someone left one of the practice tapes in one of the systems, sending a false alarm and a panic through the entire facility.
Have you checked the computer systems yet?
I checked about an hour ago. Let me check again. It looks like missiles have been shot at us from the Soviets.
Oh, Lord. Let me make a call to the U.S. State Department advisor to come down now so we can help us handle this.
I'll see if there's any problems with the system. It seems to be that before changing ships, someone can communicate with us to take out the practice tape.
False alerts of this kind are not a rare occurrence. Thankfully, it was only a misunderstanding and that no missiles are actually being shot at us.
I don't want to do this.
You don't have a choice.
If I had to go out and fight, I'm gonna die. I don't belong in war.
If you do die, it will be a hero's death.
I wish to stay home with my family, not fight a possible war.
You can't fight for your family from home. Don't you want to ensure their freedom, your country's freedom?
Of course, but there's already so many men willing to fight. You don't need me.
I do not need you, your country does. There is no greater honor in a man's life than to fight for the greater good. You know what the right thing to do is. Now make your choice wisely.
I'm not gonna die.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Russia has the atomic bomb. Extra, extra, read all about it. Russia has the atomic bomb.
How many cars did the Reds have?
Still just the one.
I have an idea. If we want to be cooler than them, then we need to have more than them. Go get another car.
I got it.
Reds, we're better than you now.
What's going on with the Blues?
Hey, they've got another car.
Another one? We can't let them have that. We have to be better than them.
What should we do?
If they have 2 cars, then we need to have 3. Go get 2 more.
I'm on it. Got him.
Ha! Take that, Blues. We're the best.
Uh-oh.
What if the Reds done now?
They have 2 more cars.
What? They have 3 now. That's it. We have to make sure we're better than them.
Do you want me to get 2 more cars so we have 4?
No, if we get 4, then they'll just get 5. And then we'll want 6. And then they'll get 7, and so on until we have like 100 cars.
100 cars?
Yeah, I've got a better idea. We need something bigger, something better, something so much better that they'll have no clue what hit them.
Got it. Hold on. This should do it.
Perfect. They won't even know what to do now. Try to do better than that.
What the heck? They've got another car. And it's like big. It's super cool.
Big. Cool. We can't let them have that. We have to be better than them. If they want to have bigger, better, cooler cars than us, then we'll just have to make it even bigger, even better, even cooler. We'll beat them at their own game. Get something quick.
I'm on it.
You got a trike?
Heck yeah, I got a trike.
That's great. We're miles ahead of them now. Just try and stop us, Red. What the frick?
Now what have the Reds done?
They got a trike.
A trike? Like a big?
Yeah, a whole tricycle.
This can't keep continuing. No matter what we get, they'll just keep one-upping us.
What are you
We're going to
suggesting?
have to do something big. Something really big. Something so big that they'll never be able to match it.
What do you suggest we do?
I don't really know. What about you?
Hold on, I've got it.
What is that?
My mom's car keys.
At one time, the United States possessed over 31,000 nuclear weapons in 1966, whereas the Soviet Union possessed over 39,000 weapons in 1986. At the height of the Cold War, there were over 61,000 nuclear weapons in existence. This was well more than enough to wipe out all life on Earth, multiple times over.
All right, let's give him a hand.
The scene you're about to see takes place in America in 1915 in the home of a businessman who was involved with the trading in Europe.
Aren't you so glad I'm not involved with that war going on? Have you heard about the chaos?
Well, I'm glad we're not there. I'm really glad that we're making a ton of money off of it.
We're making money out of it? I thought we were neutral.
Oh, we've made an exceeding amount of money so far, and that's only including supplies to the Allies.
Then how are we supposed to stay neutral if we're selling to them?
Did you see the Lusitania was sunk? It says here that it was just a passenger ship.
What? Passenger ship? That ship had ammunition we were selling to the British.
It was a German submarine. It got hit. It sank in 18 minutes.
That ammunition must have exploded during the attack.
The Lusitania... The Lusitania was not the reason we joined the war, but it was a series of events that helped us to the fighting.
We must go to war. The Zimmerman known in 1917 and German ships attacking 3 of our ships is hot and on the press.
planning to ally with Mexico against us? They're gonna take our land and wealth from us.
What have we done to make them want to fight us? I thought we've been neutral this whole time.
With the amount of money President Wilson has allowed to loan to the Allies, it's not surprising. Germany hasn't been nearly as favored, and it looks like America has picked a side.
I mean, even just this January, I heard they're gonna start unrestricted submarine warfare. Why don't we just join the war then?
I don't know, but now 3 of our ships have been attacked. We're losing people before we even joined.
If President Wilson could keep us out of the war, he would, and we'd be making more money doing it. But we have a new goal on the horizon.
I mean, the president only plans to enter the war so he can be part of the signing of peace settlements.
He says it's a chance to end German militarism. The world must be made safe for democracy, he declared.
Well, to war we go, I guess. The drafts are going to start soon anyway. But so many horrible things are going to happen. Will it be worth it?
I think so. Just think of all the money. I mean, companies and farmers would have more work than ever. That's capitalism at its prime.
Maybe. But we're going to go, we'll fight, we'll come back, maybe injured, or even dead. I don't see what there's to gain for us.
In 1932, World War I, vets gathered at Washington, D.C. to plead for their payment to the
The company system is falling at a rate.
I can't believe it. It's like we're going to be paying high prices for everything and continually losing goods because of import taxes.
Yeah, the country is already in overhead with that, or $10 billion in armament and food supplies.
Farmers can't farm. People can't afford to do anything no more. They can't harvest their crops. Their food is going all rotten and bad everywhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to sell my farmland publicly. Do you think there will be anyone who will offer thousands of dollars?
I don't think so. I heard like somebody getting offered like a nickel for this stuff, and it wasn't even worth a nickel.
Well, for homeless are increased in our most towns and cities in America.
I think things will get better. We just have to stand up for what's right.
We need what's due to us.
You can't.
We want what's due to us.
You can't have it, now leave it once.
We won't leave until we get paid what's ours.
You leave me no choice. Bring the cavalry, burn their camps.
Why are you doing this? We just want what was promised to us.
These men are trying to overthrow the government. Bring an end to their rioting and defiance of authority. Charge!
February 19, 1942, Franklin D. Roosevelt signs Executive Order 9066, allowing Secretary of War to hold internment camps, giving them power to exclude Japanese Americans after the attack on Pearl Harbor just 2 months back.
I don't understand why we have to leave.
The president signed the order. We don't have a choice.
But we never did anything wrong. We are American citizens. Why are they attacking us?
I know, but we don't have a choice. We can't give them more reasons to hate us.
But they are concentration camps. Do you see what happened in Germany? I don't want that to be us.
I know it's not fair, but again, we just don't have a choice. We have to sell.
Fine. Over our house, our cars. We can't just leave it here to build us.
We've got to sell it all.
Sell it? We barely get a penny for all of this.
Don't worry, neighbor. I'll give you $1 for it all.
$1? I'm crazy. This is worth thousands of dollars.
Whoa there, I was just trying to be nice. I heard the neighbor down the street was only going to offer you a nickel. I'm giving you a real steal.
can you at least take care of our home?
Oh, I can take care of your home. I just can't guarantee any of your stuff will still be here when you get back.
The stuff is worth at least a few thousands. 100 is all we're asking, please.
No, I'll give you $1 or I'll give you nothing and you'll still lose it all.
Fine, $1 then. Let's go. So if we lost everything, and we only got $1 for it. After World War II, at a Boeing company in Seattle, 3 staff members gathered in an open field to discuss the war during their lunch break.
You know, I am so glad this war's finally over. It costs too much.
Yeah, it really has. I heard that we lost over 400,000 soldiers over there. It's lucky we didn't join the army.
Thank you.
She said 400,000 people died in the war.
Yeah, I heard about this. 400,000 young soldiers died because of the war. I can't believe it. Like, it's hard to imagine what has been encountered.
Yeah, my neighbor, he joined the army. He went on several wars, and he's come back, never been the same.
My cousin's the same. He's not the same. He won't talk about the war. His spirit's tense, and he gets up because of the littlest of noise.
That's true for the war has too many negative effects on the ordinary people. Our boss, they make countless money for the war.
Yeah, Boeing's made, what, like 100,000 airplanes by now? I heard it's like 28% of the aircraft that the whole country's been making.
100,000? How much would that be? They've got to be making a fortune.
They are. We're getting none of it. All our family and our friends, they suffer. What do we see of profit?
We can do nothing about it. What can we do? We don't have the money and power to choose our lives. Our boss isn't making money for the war. And the people who live in the bottom, they have no choice. Join the army is their only shortcut to their success.
But they think of war too simply, and countless people are dying for their glory and honor.
Maybe it's glory for the country they see?
Yeah.
Well, it's time, guys. We thought you got to finish today. I've already deducted enough money.
Yeah.
That's good.
FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover told Congress he's going to arrest 14,000 dangerous communists in the event of war with the Soviet Union.
Man, I knew these damn commies already snuck their way into our country.
Yeah. Parliament being blown way out of proportion. This is a sham to serve the spirit and hatred of the Russians.
Are you kidding me? They're living with us, they're living in our military, they're in our schools, even the State Department is thoroughly infested with communists.
Yeah.
To the comments, I assure you that this threat here is real. It's quite real.
I highly doubt that. Judging by how few government officials you've fired by your loyalty investigations, I don't see it. All we've done is undermine our society by giving it to fear.
Undermine? Fear? A government official? Please.
The Secretary of State knows 205 commies in the State Department.
Yeah.
Bring them up.
If we do not act on this here red menace, things gonna get worse. We gonna lose our very nation. We will kiss this great country goodbye.
We already acted on it.
Well, I guess we just gonna have to do what we have to do to make things better. This red scare is real.
We already have and are doing something about it. The presidential candidate for the Socialist Party supports the banning of communist teachers. 350,000 Communist Party members spied for the Russians.
Yeah, right.
Where is this boogeyman? Because I don't see him, and it clearly looks like you can't find him either.
Oh, I assure you, he does exist. And they do exist. And they're here, probably among us right now.
Yeah.
In 1964, there was a disapproval of the Vietnam War. Citizens ditched the drum and began to protest against the war. In 1965, a few hundred of them, and then in 1971, that number rose to 20,000. That same year, the New York Times published info containing the leaked Pentagon Papers.
Stop the war!
You can't go more than a block anymore without running into at least one protester. What new tales have the papers printed this time?
Probably more of the same. It's worrying, though.
Worrying? What's worrying is how people will leave it. Why would they lie about the reason we went to war?
Well, perhaps to get people to fight.
Sure. And the people over there would be better off without a democracy then?
You can't really believe that we're helping them, can you? Haven't you read any of the papers?
The papers have false information all the time.
Yeah.
Not always.
Not this time. They got papers from the Pentagon, like 39 of them. They're being published in order. It's all true.
How did they get those papers?
I don't know, but they got them. They're showing everything that's happened. They planned it before it happened. That's how they got there so
How
fast.
did they plan that?
Not the incident, the response to it. That's how they were off bombing, like 3 days before Congress could make a decision.
Oh my God.
They got that.
It's true. Wait until you hear everything from us. All the people that have been hurt. I mean, you haven't even seen it.
Do you have any unused signs?
Yeah, but not with us. You can make one and come with us if you want.
All right. But if this information is false,
It's not, I swear. It's straight from the Pentagon. We couldn't lie.
End the war! End the war!
End the war! End the war! End the war!
After 2001, on September 11th, the U.S. uses lies and propaganda to create an atmosphere in which people are willingly giving up their rights and freedoms, ultimately leading us to war.
I am the decider. We will bring them to justice. Nuclear power, weapons of mass destruction, Hurricane Katrina, it's all so secret I can't even talk about it. We will not leave a child behind. You are either with us or you are with the terrorists.
Wake up! Wake the fuck up! Wake up! You gotta move!
Look, let me grab my shoes and camera, something.
Let's just go over and go with them. Put in one of those armor rooms.
we don't even.
Just do the fuck what I said without time to We're taking fire! Site has been breached!
Oh!
Cameron, help me know how to use one of these.
Shit, I'm from Chicago.
Get down!
These are just kids!
Propaganda is surrounding every corner, and like a beast, it is searching for its next meal. Though the meal that it wants will not be a live animal, nor will it be a generous plate of Grandma's famous homemade cooking. No. What this beast searches for is the dim-witted brains of the public. Some take the forms of posters tacked so nicely on your telephone poles around your town, and others are the advertisements you see on your television screens. But the most deadly form of all was the 4-minute man, searching in the streets, desperate to latch on to any unsuspecting young man and convince them to become a soldier who does, but does not ask. Join a war not worth fighting and serve a country willing to let them die.
Yes, I agree with you. I wonder if these enemies are as bad as the posters portray. Okay, don't make your speech longer than 4 minutes. As they say, there's no time for wasted words.
You there! My boy shall never disgrace his immortal sons. At Valley Forge in Lexington they kindled freedom fires. While John's father died at Gettysburg and mine at Chancellorsville. While John himself was with the boys who charged up San Juan Hill. And if Johnny was here today, I'm sure he'd say with me that no son of ours shall ever disgrace his grand old family tree. By turning out a slacker when his country needs his aid, it is not such timber that America was made. I wish you died at birth and not been born at all, to know that I raised a son who could not hear the call. This call is meant for you, my boy. I bid you do your part. Show the world that no son of mine has been cursed with a craven heart.
Why me? What makes me so special?
Well, son, you look like a...
Me too.
Finally. Well, that was interesting.
The first casualty in war will always be the truth.
You there! My boy shall never be disgraced by his immortal sires. At Valley Forge in Lexington they kindled...
Didn't I just hear this?
Freedom fires? You there, let's talk!
The Sedition Act is now in full effect, and anybody with an opinion on war is now not allowed to say it. Their opinions are unimportant, unheard, and unlawful. We're now going to witness Emma Goldman's speech about war. And though she knows the consequences, and though she knows this will inevitably end in imprisonment, nonetheless, she is confident in her opposition against an unjust war that speaks to the people and leaves the government shaken to the core.
Friends, by tomorrow morning, I'm sure you will hear the report that a meeting took place on the east side attended by foreigners ill-kept, poorly washed people of the east side. For 30 years, we have pointed out to you that this democratic state is supposedly of the people, by the people, and for the people. However, now it has become the most imperialistic that the world has ever seen. Indeed, the people of America placed Mr. Wilson in the chair of presidency because he promised you peace and not war. However, when he became president, he forgot all of his promises and is now giving you hell. The war was imposed on the people without the people getting to say whether they want war or not. And war was imposed upon them because I say, the gentlemen who back power want war.
While Emma Goldman is saying this famous speech, she will be called unpatriotic and booed off the stage. Because those with the same opinions and the same opinion as the government will never be outlawed.
What is life unless you can live it in beauty? I would rather live the life the dog could to be compelled to sneak about and slink about than to worry that somebody is ready to take your life.
Well, Mr. Wilson, I think you did a good job. Men are being drafted, institution actors in place, and we're finally gaining control.
Yes, amazing job today. I'll see you boys tomorrow. Another day, another success.
Here we stand in 1918, and the Espionage Act is now put into place, outlawing people's opinions against war. Young men are being recruited at alarming rates. The Sedition Act, Section 3 of the Espionage Act. When the United States is at war, whoever shall willfully make or convey false reports or false statements and intending to interfere with the operation or success of the military or naval forces of the United States, or promote the success of our enemies when the United States is at war, will cause insubordination, disloyalty, mutiny, and refusal of duty in the military. If a citizen willfully obstructs the recruitment or enlisting service of the United States, they shall be punished with a fine of $10,000, 20 years in prison, or both.
What about freedom of speech?
What about freedom of the press?
What are you hiding from us?
This new act is targeting us reporters.
I'm against this war. What's saying anything will get me locked up?
I want their voices heard.
I want to speak my truth.
Why are our voices silenced?
You only have a voice if you agree with us.
Yours not to reason why, yours but to do and die. That is their motto, but we object as the workers of this nation. If war is right, let it be declared by the people. You above all others have the right to decide the monumentous issue of war or peace.
On July 7, 1932, 100,000 spectators watched as 8,000 veterans marched down Pennsylvania Avenue. These families camped in front of the White House in hopes of receiving these so-called bonuses that they had been promised. $1 for every day in service and $1.50 every day overseas, but the catch was that anybody with a bonus of over $50 needed to wait until 1945.
How long? How long are they going to ignore us? I'm growing weird living in these conditions.
I know, but we can't give up now. I risk life and limb for this country, and God damn it, I'm gonna get what they promised me. For you, me, baby, I need this money to build the life that I always wanted, and that what we always wanted, and what I fought for, and what I was promised.
I know, darling, I know.
What's happening? I don't know, but it's definitely not the welcome wagon, that's for sure.
Save the women and children! Grab the children and run!
Boy, you there, what's happening down there? Why are you running?
I'm running through, and I'm telling everyone about the cavalry that just arrived. They started throwing tear gas at the front lines.
See, I told you we got their attention.
Are you mad? They're attacking us, their own people.
They feel threatened. They know they've wronged us and they've come to shut us up. Look, I know it seems crazy and you need to get to safety, but I need to stay. I can't have done all this for nothing. I love you, but you have to run. I can't stand to see you or our child harmed. But I have to finish this out. Our voices will be heard. Now run. All right, men. Hold as long as you can.
The stock market crash of 1929 forced thousands of businesses to close their doors. Families were left out in the streets, unable of a way to provide shelter, food, or anything else for their children. These families were left going door to door begging for jobs, any opportunity to make any money. They were left begging for food or simply sitting in the streets hoping that anybody better off could offer them something.
Why, hello, sir. What can I do for you today?
Please help me. My wife got laid off from her job. The schools have increased the price of meals for my children. I need food. I can't watch my family starve.
I'm sorry, sir. I wish I could help, but there's nothing I can do. Every company has been forced to lay people off, and everybody has come here asking for handouts, and we simply
can't get them out to everyone.
Ma'am, please, I'm begging you. My children are starving and they need food.
Believe me, sir, if there was something I could do to help all the starving children in the world, I would. But my hands are tied. I can't help you.
How am I going to feed my starving family?
Oh, hi, ma'am. Can I get you a room? No, that's not why I'm here. I'm in need of a job. I can cook, I can clean, I can do anything. I'm sorry, ma'am. We're just not hiring right now. We just don't have the funds. I know you're not hiring, but nowhere is. Please, ma'am. If I don't get the job, I'll lose my house.
Look, if there was something that I could do to help you, I would, but we just made a bunch of cuts ourselves. I'm lucky that I still have my job. The economy's just tanking right now. There's nothing we can do.
Where am I going to live? If I don't have a house, I'll be deported.
Please, food or money, anything will help.
Please, sir, please. We haven't eaten in days. We're starving.
Sorry, kid. I will give you food, but I don't have it myself.
Please, ma'am, if you have any extra change so you can buy something to eat, even a penny will help.
Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie. I don't have any myself, but if I did, I would give it all to you. Go home, sweetie.
We have no home. Our dad was killed in the war and our mom died at birth.
How will we go on?
The year was from 1939 to 1943. The World War II recruitment was massive. Many of these men came from the lower to middle classes because those better off didn't have to worry about things such as honor or rewards or simply dirtying their hands when others could do it for them.
I'm so honored to serve my nation in a difficult time. It proves my loyalty and patience towards the nation I call home.
Yeah, I'm just doing this to get divorced by joining the grad school.
I don't know about you guys, but I think we're just getting ourselves into a trap. How long will we be away from our families, and will any of us survive until the end?
Where's your sense of honor and patriotism? If you're going to serve for a country, you have to at least aid it in whatever it needs.
That doesn't mean countless lives need to perish to accomplish the goal it's trying to reach.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm hoping the promised rewards they stated is true, and not just mere rumors.
It's hard for me to believe that someone will go to the extent for receiving awards for something so dangerous. Don't you have, family or loved ones that care about you?
I do not have any of those supports you have claimed. And besides, I've moved on from my parents 5 years ago. All I care about is finding the resources that can benefit my survival.
Do you maggots have what it takes to serve our nation in such a political crisis?
Absolutely, sir. I will do everything in my power to bring our nation to the forefront to make it victorious.
That's a lot of spirit you got there, son.
I hope these rewards you have stated aren't just advertising purposes.
That's if you can make it out alive.
Excuse me? Hi. How long will we be away from our families? We have loved ones we're seeking for our safety.
I know the hard feeling you have there, son. But when the time comes, duty calls. All right, gentlemen. You will all be transferred to the 413th Regiment to assist in fighting in northern France by sunrise. Get some shut-eyes in the boot camp. You're going to need it.
Sir, yes, sir! This must be a miracle. After so many rejections, I am finally part of a larger scale of war.
By the end of this war, there better be financial rewards they have claimed to have stated in those goddamn advertisements that they have shoved upon the general public. Or else this will be nothing but political propaganda.
Those two are thrilled with what they will receive from war, but they never stop to think about what's going to happen to them on the battlefield. What this war brings us worries me, and I'm worried we are just about to witness the horrifying part of it.
May 1942. Executive Order 9906 has just been passed, and 120,000 Japanese Americans have just been taken from their homes, stripped of their identities, and forced into internment camps around the United States.
By the authority vested in me as President of the United States and Commander-in-Chief, I authorize the Secretary of War and Military Commander to designate whether he deems necessary or desirable to prescribe military areas in which all people may be excluded from entering, made to remain in or leave according to the Secretary of War or military commander's discretion.
Instructions to all persons of Japanese ancestry living in the following area. All that portion of the city and county of San Francisco, state of California, lying generally west of the north-south line, established by Junipero Serra Boulevard, Worcester Avenue, and 19th Avenue. All Japanese persons, both alien and non-alien, will be evacuated from the above area by 12 o'clock noon Tuesday, April 7th, 1942. No Japanese person will be permitted to enter or leave the above prescribed area after 8 a.m. Thursday, April 2nd, 1942, without obtaining special permission from the Provost Marshal.
Nearly 18,000 Japanese American men have been given the opportunity to leave these internment camps, with the stipulation being that they must now go fight and serve for the country that has just imprisoned them. Many of them choose to take this deal so they can prove their honor and their loyalty to the United States, though it does not deserve it. Most of them served in the 100th Infantry Battalion and served with the 442nd Regimental Combat Team.
We lost our citizenship.
How do we go on?
We volunteered for war.
We have no other country. This is our country. We have to prove our loyalty somehow.
Selma, Alabama. Martin Luther King Jr. plans to lead a march from Selma to Montgomery.
We need this march to show people that we as African Americans will not sit back and allow the injustices that we anarchists will continue to live through if we don't do anything.
What do you expect us to do? Anything to do, because either even kill.
We must not sit back. It will be a civil march from here to the Capitol. And if anything should happen to us, the world will see.
And what about the police on the other side of the bridge? You really think they're just waiting there to wish us safe travel?
Dr. King is right. If people see us protesting, it might help our cause.
Together, friends, step forward if you are coming with us.
The marchers are about to cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge when they're confronted by a team of policemen.
You and your friends won't be crossing this bridge, Mr. King.
Officer, there should be no reason we can't cross this bridge. It is our right to travel freely.
I don't care how far you came, and as for the law, what I say goes.
Officer, please allow us.
Get him, boys! Help!
It's too late for me, Mr. King. I love
The event you saw here today was not one of fiction, but one of courage and bravery. Jimmy Lee Jackson was peacefully protesting when a police officer shot and killed him. This event will forever be known as Bloody Sunday. However, the year is now 1966, and the Vietnam War is in full effect. Young men are lining up next to the selective service stand one by one to meet their fate.
This isn't worth it, Robbie.
Arnold, now's not the time for second thoughts. Keep your voice down.
Next.
We have no business in Vietnam. This is not our war to fight.
Arnold, I get your frustration. Believe me, I don't want to go to this war any more than you do. Now keep your mouth shut.
No more fighting!
A rich man's war!
No more fighting!
A rich man's war!
Next.
You know what? No. What's the point of a democracy if the people have no power?
Get back in line.
No, I'm done playing these games.
You don't get back in line for it? I'm afraid I'll have no choice but to arrest you.
Do what you need. No more fighting!
A rich man's war! A rich man's war!
I want to thank you for coming to this meeting on such short notice. Sometimes I feel so disconnected from the people, and without the people, there'd be no one to govern. I really, really would like to hear your side of the story.
Thank you, sir. It's truly an honor and privilege to be here representing the people of the United States of America in such tough times, and with people whom I admire so greatly.
Let's be seated. I want to thank you all for coming to this conference on such a short notice. As you can probably tell, our country is at a crossroads. I'm looking for ways to assure the public that everything will be all right. I'm open to suggestions at this time. Go.
Sir, Secretary of Defense, I'd like to suggest sending our military troops into our neighboring nations. Our military is the strongest it's ever been. I believe if we start strong, the American people will follow.
Take a point. Take a point. I love that idea. Go.
Vice President here. I believe that idea raises the question, is violence truly the answer when the United States is not in immediate danger? Being so quick to attack would be difficult to present to the public.
Go.
Mr. President, Secretary of State, I would like you to know that we are in very good with all of your nations. An immediate attack may just result in further damage and only serve to hurt people.
All right. So we'll put a pin in that for now. So we've hit him hard, and we've hit him first. What else do you guys got?
Mr. President, I am the best in my field in public relations, and I believe what the people need are distractions. Release to the press that Kylie Jenner is pregnant again. It's a different father. We need to labor and distract. We want to invade other countries. They don't even know what's happening because they'll be too busy looking at the newest season of The Bachelor. And they're going to be devastated when I take Friends off of Netflix.
Sir, this is the director of the NSA here. It's true. We've been tapping people's cell phones and webcams for years now, and even when the people did find out, they turned it into a meme, and no one even cared. We were invading and drilling for oil in other countries, and our PR rep here turned it into another meme, and they ate it up. People love the cat videos, and a surprising amount of people don't even check their sources.
Wait, actually, we as people like to be informed about what our government is doing.
See, sir, the people won't even know what's happening, so we're going to be the bad guys.
Now, hold on just a second. We have no reason to sever ties with these states, and they could be useful allies.
Go.
Mr. President, FBI. Actually, I have some evidence, not much, because of the notes when they arrived at my desk in Marker. There are terrorists inside the Atlantic Ocean, and I support the notion to send troops anywhere near that ocean.
Actually, no. We don't want to start randomly attacking other...
We can present an idea to the public, and I support the notion to send troops.
On it! I'm going to say that they stole all the Youngsters coil, they're now spreading fumes that make people communists, and I'm going to take those Friends off of Netflix.
No! What does taking Friends off of Netflix have?
Now, we're deciding a plan of action that is best for the people.
You said to share my thoughts.
Send the fucking troops!
So we're invading countries on the premise of a lie, all because the nation needs resources?
Government agents Smith and Jones are debating how to pacify an angry group of veterans seeking their bonus.
We deserve food. We need our money now.
Damn it.
We need our
I've never seen anything like this. The people are side by side against their own damn government. Do they know how much the president does for them? These ungrateful bastards.
You know, as ungrateful as they are, I can't understand their frustration. This is the worst the economy has ever been. Well, they were promised a bonus for their service during the Great War. Still, though, you shouldn't rely on the government to fix all your problems.
Ace is returning home. After 5 years of seeing the horrors of combat.
Jet, why are you home so early?
Busy.
Ace, what are you doing here?
I'm home from the war. How are you? How is everything?
I'm good. We're good.
That's good. So where's Jet?
He's working.
Working?
Yeah, he works for the Johnsons. He gets paid $1 a day.
How old is he?
He's 5. You left 5 years ago.
Daisy, you know I couldn't control that with the war. They needed me.
I know. It's just hard seeing you after 5 years. I had to raise our son by myself, and that hasn't been easy.
I know it hasn't been easy, but it hasn't been easy for me either. I went to war and 5 years without you and 5 years without Jet. 5 years living with strangers who become friends and family and then die. These past 5 years haven't been easy, I know, and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's just been hard.
I know it's been hard, but I'm here now, and that's all that matters.
It is the late 1920s, and the stock market has just crashed, leaving many bankrupt. The streets are populated with the jobless, attempting to sell apples as a way of making money. On those bleak streets in New York, there is a homeless man attempting to sell apples as a way of making spare change, sitting by a door with a sign held up that says, "We'll take any job, but we'll not take charity."
Apples, get your apples here. I got apples for a nickel. I got apples here. Apples fresh.
I'll take one, sir, yeah.
God bless you, sir. Happy sitting man. This is
Trying times indeed, my friend. But what's your story? How'd you end up on here selling apples on the street?
Well, I reckon my story's the same as everyone else's. After that wretched Hoover and that stock market crash, I've been left here selling apples to make ends meet.
But surely there must be more to your story than that. Humans are much more than simple statistics, you know.
Well, I reckon you're right in that regard, but if you walk around here long enough, you find a mix them up. It's better than a point, but I don't see the difference between two persons.
Maybe so. But saying one person is no different from another person is like saying the Titanic and the Lusitania are the same ship. Now let's start with the basics here. What's your name?
Well, I go by a lot of names out in these streets.
Now aren't we just ramming our head right into a brick wall? I could just call you Johnny Appleseed and call it a good day.
That would do. If someone else's hole, not just apple seeds. How about Johnny Apple Orchard?
Apple Orchard. Am I gonna get the actual pleasure of knowing your name or not?
What, Johnny Apple Orchard ain't feel like a glove? The name's David.
David! Now that is progress. My name is Butch. Now that we officially know each other, let's move to other questions, like how long have you been here on these streets?
Well, I reckon 27 years, but that's from the cradle. You remember in the corner maybe 5, 6, 7 days? Just doing what I can to make ends meet.
Yes, 5, 6, 7 days. Do many people swing on by to lend you some aid?
Well, some do, some don't. Some stop by, drop a nickel, don't take an apple. Some walk by and give me the nastiest looks, and wallets don't even pay the time of day. Change like 9 days around these spots.
And is that aid that they're giving you enough to keep on your feet, David?
Well, it is enough, but just barely.
Just barely, huh? If that's the case, I guess I'll drop you another nickel and get another apple.
I like that apple.
Oh, that's very good, David. In fact, I'm starting to see why New York is called the Big Apple. Now, let's move on to more pressing matters, like your past job history, which I'm sure must be the most curious of events.
Yeah, it's nothing glamorous. It's a simple steel worker. I just do what I can to keep my boat afloat.
And that boat that you had there is sunk now, yeah?
Much like that aforementioned Lusitania, yes. Trying times, my friend, trying times.
Very trying, very trying. Well, what are your plans for the morrow, David?
Sit here, sell some apples, look pretty. It's all part of the plan.
Yes. Well, I hear the word on the street, well, not the street, this street's pretty quiet, but the word on the street is that the steel workers are unionizing. You may be interested in swinging a ride, if that's what you fancy.
Maybe not. Someone's got to sell these apples.
Well, it's been a pleasant chat, David, I dare say, but I must be on my way.
Damn it, where the hell is my speech? Somebody give me my speech. My fellow Americans, we need your help in these dire times. With the economy tanking, we need to put more money in the market. If we only print more money, it'll only go down in value. So spend your hard-earned money in any way you can. Or, better yet, invest it into the government like a true, proper American patriot would. The power of the people is the force we need to make this nation stand tall. I would know what's best for the nation and the economy. I work with the economy every day. So my fellow citizens, I urge you, keep your trust in the leadership. Allow us to shepherd us out of these dark times and into the light again. Thank you, and God bless America.
Two government agents are playing around a table with cards after a long day of work.
Well, how have you been, my good fellow?
Well, I've been doing pretty good, sir. I heard your speech on the radio. Looks like you got those poor, useless people to finally shut up.
Well, you know, I think it was a pretty good attempt at making them think I actually care.
That's what we government officials do best. So, what shall we have for dinner tonight?
Well, you know, I was thinking of big sirloin steak and mashed potatoes on the side.
You had that yesterday and the day before. You're really starting to let yourself go?
You know, I think I can afford such luxuries on my salary, especially with this bonus we got for working on this depression. Only bad thing about bonuses, it all came with large bills.
Yeah, these large bills really do make life hard on us. Never any time to go to the bank and exchange them for smaller bills. And to hell with these penny pinchers and tip.
Absolutely. Well, anyways, the Kentucky Derby's coming up in about a week's time. Who you placing bets on, Mr. Jones?
The Kentucky Derby. You know, I was thinking about putting 500 on Crack Brigade. Got a strong chance of winning, so my sources tell me.
Crack Brigade, huh? Well, my sources tell me Uncle Luther's.
The Johnson farm on a hot, dry day. Their crops are dead, along with their farming business.
Papa, I'm hungry. Can we get some food now?
Not right now, boy. Mom will pick crops later.
Are you crying, Papa?
No, son, just some dust in the air like the dust full.
Okay. I work so hard, and the government pays me money not to grow crops. I can't feed my wife. I can't feed my child. I'm horrified what this country has come to.
Like the president has said, time and time again, the people need to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps.
We want a remedy!
This crowd is going to get out of control. Soon they're going to take the violence it's all to these types to know.
What do you think the president's going to do about these rabbles?
What's going on here, fellas?
We're dumping out our milk. The government's skimming too much off the top and leaving nothing for us farmers.
Well, dumping out our milk brew.
If we don't take a stand now, then nobody will.
That's right.
And what's more important than the production of milk? Nothing.
Surely there must be another way.
There is no other way. If we're not making money from our milk, it may as well be going sour.
How much will we have to dump out?
Well, one drop may not go noticed, but the flow of an ocean will catch everyone's attention.
Think about it, Joe. We have to do it now, for Timothy.
Honey, we will stand with the others. We'll fight.
Yeah.
Stand we will take, huh? And we gotta dump out this milk because we're not making any money from it. We don't even see a nickel a drop.
In times like this, Mr. Smith, an armed government official is a smart government official.
You know, I like the way you think, Mr. Jones.
Hey, can we go to the store and get some fruit?
Yeah, can I have some money?
I don't have any. I thought you did.
We don't have any money?
No, but aren't you supposed to get that bonus for the war?
Yeah, I haven't gotten it yet.
Well, we need it because we haven't ate in days.
Oh, okay. Where's Jet?
Jet!
Jet, where are you
Yes,
at?
Papa?
There you are, son.
Wait, where are we going?
We're going to the White House. We need to have a chat with Mr. President. Come on.
Ah, shit. Is that what I think it is? Smedley, goddamn Darlington Butler.
We deserve that bonus. And we deserve that money. And we deserve it right now.
Yeah.
Smedley Darlington Butler is the most decorated war hero in American history.
Going, Mr. Smith, it would appear that the cavalry's on the way.
It's General George Patton. People, 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 come to your senses. This is no way of achieving your goal. The president's orders are to make you disperse using force if necessary.
Ace, dinner's ready. Ace? Hello?
Mama? What's wrong with Daddy?
Nothing, he's just thinking.
Dad? Hello?
Oh, yes, son.
Are you ready for dinner, Daddy?
Yeah, I'll be right there.
Okay.
I don't understand what's happening right now. I can still hear all the gunshots from the war. I am not at the war anymore. But yet I can still hear those goddamn gunshots in my head. That's not the only thing either. My friends are dying, and I can't do anything about it. They're dying all over. Goddamn gunshots. And that's not all. The smell, it reeks. I can smell it. The gunpowder and the blood and just all the death. Oh, God. I'm not there anymore. I'm not there anymore. I'm home. I'm home now.
Later that night, Ace and Daisy are sleeping far apart. And then suddenly, Ace wakes up, frightened and breathing heavy. This wakes up Daisy.
Why didn't you save us? You left us there to die!
Ace, what's wrong?
Nothing. It was just a bad dream. Go back to sleep. You're a traitor and betrayed your country. Not gonna listen to the president's bulldog.
This is your final warning. The president's orders are to put an end to this rioting and defiance of authority.
President's days are numbered. He's done nothing to stop this economic crisis, and his party's not even given our bonus yet. We will stand our ground. The only problem with you veterans is that you still believe in Santa Claus, but it's time you woke up. It's time you realize there's another war going on. And this is our war. It's time we stood up and fight.
Then you leave me no other choice.
Well, this will elect me.
Yeah, Will, how are you going to deal with all these veterans, sir?
Some coffee might help.
Yes, some coffee, but how is that going to help anything with this depression?
People need their faith restored in the American government. The farmers aren't making a profit. We need to help them make a profit. Workers can't even feed their families. We need to help them feed their families. People have lost faith in the banks. We need to help them regain their faith in the banks.
You've just listed a bunch of problems, but how is that going to solve anything?
Like I said, people need their faith restored in the American government. They need to know that the only thing they have to fear is fear itself. We need a new deal.
Give him a hand.
Today, we're here to discuss the almost inherent corruption that comes with power. Our leadership profits off the suffering of our common people, and then they go and instruct upon the glory of their own history while not telling our tales. Today here, we see the gross mismanagement of funds and wasteful spending done by all forms of government, as well as corporations alike, set in a metal clinic in a manager's office.
Come in.
You want to see me, boss?
Yes, come in and have a seat.
What do you want to talk about?
So, I went over the recommendation list, and
That's great. Are they going to follow through with it?
no, they said that the body armor would be an unnecessary expense for you to do your job.
Unnecessary expense. I'm a security guard. Like half the clients here have been in prison, you know?
They told me that's what cameras are for.
Cameras. Oh, great. With the 10-minute response time for the police, you'll have time to watch me die on repeat while you wait.
Calm down, will you? What's the likelihood of that even happening?
That's not about if it will happen, but when. You're telling me that they'd rather save $100 instead of giving me body armor to protect myself?
It's not that they aren't willing, it's just that there's no money.
Why is that? Surely it's not because they bought 50 new office chairs.
They need the ones more economical for your needs.
That's just typical of the wealthy, getting real comfy in those office chairs while I'm sitting down here. No body armor. Typical of the wealthy.
Recruiters all over are hired to convince men to sign up for the Army for the Great War. Those who are criticized of the war are arrested under Espionage Act.
How y'all doing?
I can't say I've thought about it. Tell me more.
Yes, tell us more.
Well, I'll tell you what. You join the military, you get to wear a fancy uniform, fight for your country. How about them apples?
Yeah, sign us up.
Sign us up.
Me too.
Why did you get sued?
Oh, the enemy, of course. Right now in Europe, they're reaping and raving and ramping and raping. Hell, they're sinking our ships in cowardly surprise attacks. It's our duty to stop them. For the good president has declared war.
No, thank you. I want to touch war with a 36.5-foot pole.
Now, surely you aren't unpatriotic.
unpatriotic. Is it patriotic to declare war on a country that sunk one ship? How many of our sons and brothers will die in this war?
You can't say that. That's against the Espionage Act. I'll have you arrested. Police!
What seems to be the problem here?
That man there is sullying our government's good name.
In all the history of the world, the people have never had a voice in declaring war. If war is right, let it be declared by the people.
You're under arrest.
Yeah, shoot him or something. Corruption among power takes many forms. Often, the political parties are backed by corporate interests, and they serve to help each other, much like the National Security Act. Let's watch this.
All right, guys, this is it. As my best friends in the world and my election committee, I'm relying on you to help me win this vote. If I get to be president, I'll have you all on my council. It's the least I could do. Now, what can I promise the fellow student body to help me win this vote?
What about new PE uniforms?
That's not really trending right now, dude.
What about an extra 30 minutes of lunch?
Yeah, and if you do that, students will have a whole extra 30 minutes to casually converse with friends while eating slightly above average food.
Sweet. I like the idea of that. We'll add it to the campaign. All right, what else?
I got one. What about cutting the school year short by a month? If we would normally get out June 13th, we'll get out May 13th.
Oh, that would be such a great idea. Come on, what student doesn't want a longer summer? That's
true. That'll be good.
You'll be the most popular kid in school.
That'll be great. I could do anything with that kind of power. Let me write it down too. All right. Is there anything else you guys could think of? No. Something every student would go for.
Well, there's one thing I can think of that would completely guarantee your fame and popularity, as well as the loyalty from every student.
Well, school. What is it? Tell me.
You, sir, would replace every locker in the school with 3 vending machines.
That's it. That'll be what pushes me to the fame and victory that I deserve. Not to mention, with my computer access to the school, as a trade-off for your guys' help, I can change your guys' grades to whatever you want. Well, let me call Robin with student council. I have no signal here. Guess I'll have to do it outside. But thanks for all these ideas, guys. You're gonna make me look good. Yeah.
Have a good day.
See ya.
Have a seat.
Well, we're gonna have the easiest senior year ever with that freaking dumbass in charge.
Without us, he would still be eating lunch in his car every day with no friends.
Hell yeah, man. Now that we don't have to worry about our grades, we can rule this school stress-free.
Hell yeah.
In 1927, anarchists are killed for the killing of a security guard despite protests for their radical beliefs.
Well, can you hear anything?
No! There's a door in the way!
Shouldn't be rude about it.
This is stupid. This case was rigged from the start.
Oh shit, Sherlock.
The judge is racist. The evidence was tampered with. He is practically being
I
murdered
know,
for his...
but all we can do is just protest. Not that anything's gonna change in the end.
Guilty. And did you see what I did to those anarchist bastards?
big scandal involving President Nixon involved them breaking into the Democratic building and stealing documents and wanting to take the votes.
Man, I'm real nervous to sneak into high school. Look, Jacob, let's just get this done quick and easy, okay? We do not want our summer ruined. Well, that makes sense, man. We just gotta wait for her to get off. She gets off at 8, so. Okay. Looks like she's almost done. Oh, no, she just using the computer. Dang, right. Hey, man, teachers, they work long hours after school time. They're the busiest of the people, man. I should be respected. Okay, it's nighttime. She should be going soon. Oh, she's okay. Okay. Let's get in there. What? Oh. Okay, I'm in. What you guess? Huh? Okay, I found out. Oh, stop crying, Jacob. I found out. Get changed quick, okay? All right. There, I think I changed. Oh, there's something going. We gotta go. This was the best idea you've had all school year, Jacob.
Dude, I know my mom's looking mad because I have good grades now. Yes.
In the grim times of 1929 to 1943, work was hard to come by in America. Europe was seeing the rise of the Axis powers and their conquest. America needed to aid the Allies with business practices by manufacturing weapons. This was both a people's war and a war of interest for corporate America.
I can barely make ends meet right now. Likewise, with the war going on in Europe, there's a bunch of jobs located in the city. I heard
The war in Europe is a war on evil, but there's another evil close to home.
That's crazy. What are you going on about?
Gentlemen, how do you do?
Oh, you've been awfully nice around here.
Not from here. Came to this town in hopes of recruiting some workers. I actually have several factories in the state.
What kind of jobs are you offering?
Well, I'm a weapons manufacturer.
Did you say weapons manufacturer?
Yes, I'd say it's my civic duty to help our soldiers fight a war.
You wouldn't happen to be opening a factory in our town, would you?
Well, unfortunately, no. So I came to this local town so I could recruit some people. You interested?
Thanks for the offer, but I'd rather not be making money working for someone like you.
People like me?
Yes, someone like you. You get paid coin while your workers get paid dirt. The work you're providing is tainted with the blood of
him. How much do you pay?
Well, I don't know where you got your information from, but I can assure you that I'm merely doing this to help our country win a war, and I pay 75 cents an hour.
Better than being paid nothing. Yeah, I believe so too. With you on that.
Don't you see? This job's only available because of people like her.
I provide wages for the American people. I don't see any harm in helping our soldiers fight unnecessary evil.
She's right. While we're sitting here doing nothing, others are fighting in our place for peace.
I can't believe you're siding with her.
It's not that I am siding with her, but it's for a good cause.
So you see no problem with helping her make millions off this war. To her, this is a war of interest.
No, I'd rather be working the factories, backing up the soldiers. When can we start?
Well, sooner the better. How about tomorrow?
Finally get a job.
Yes. How you can pervert their minds to thinking that they're not helping you get rich off this war is beyond me.
Well, you fail to realize that if the enemy wins, we all suffer. This is a people's war, so what if I gain money off of it? You disgrace this country, you fucking degenerate.
I see what your intentions are. There's such a thing as a nation needs to be proud to fight. Don't let their greed be your downfall.
Japanese Unit 731 had an exchange with the United States. They were a secret research unit that was testing chemical weapons. This was illegal during World War II, especially since they used it on their own civilians and American prisoners of war.
That's cool.
Oh, we're running low on patties. Want to run in there and get some more?
Oh, wait, man, I did it last time. It's your turn.
No, the last time I went in there, because of the new meats, it smelled like vegan death in there.
Oh, calm down, man. We got the big one coming to buy the store.
One of us still gotta go in there and get the patties.
Fine, I'll do it. I can win.
Ugh, what do we put in these things?
What do you put in those things is right.
Oh, you must be the chain owner. It's just locally grown meat. The guy we buy it from, he sells it to us cheap.
You know, your manager just told me that this is actually soy and protein powder fake.
I didn't know that.
Really, it's truly remarkable. You don't even have to refrigerate them. They cook faster than a normal patty.
Yeah, they do. They're pretty good. We don't even have to keep them cold because the boss turns them off to save money. It's not real meat. So, that's creative.
Yeah, I wouldn't even really touch it or eat it if I were you.
Hey, boss. Some lady out back's throwing up. She really wants to talk to the manager.
Has anybody ever found out that you don't use actual meat in this?
Well, we tested for natural proteins, but it's obviously not past the
Not as
test.
much meat as
People seem not to care.
Well, the guy up front seems to care, right?
She's puking her brains out.
Even if you don't refrigerate your patties or produce?
Yeah, people just want to, it's fast food, people just want a quick bite to eat. Have you thought about my proposal?
Wait, proposal?
Yeah, proposal to train our company on the goat meat product. The only thing I'm asking for is that I get compensated, and if I face any prosecution, I'm okay.
Wait. So you want to get away with all the money and none of the punishment?
Yeah, I didn't think money since the beginning.
It's a deal. Start immediately.
Great.
Our boys were sent off to die with beautiful ideals, but nobody told them that pennies and cents were the real reason they were going off to war.
Hey, you! Give me a lunch money.
No, I don't want to give you my money. I'm hungry. I didn't bring a packed lunch.
I don't care. I said give me your lunch money.
No.
Hey, you should have given me your lunch money when I asked. What the hell was this?
Don't worry. That's all I have.
Hey, what happened?
I didn't want to give him my lunch money. I didn't have a packed lunch. I gave up the money because I was scared.
You, follow me to my office.
At the end of World War I, the Versailles Peace Treaty stripped Germany of most of its land and much of its resources, loading them with $13 billion in debt of reparations.
We get paid way too little for what we do.
You think?
Obviously, I'm risking my life every day in those damn mines.
I don't think so, and well, what are you gonna do about it?
I knew you were gonna pull something off like that. Which is why I brought my own. This ain't really cool.
Hey, you look like a strapping young man. You looking for work?
Yes, you got anything, man?
See that house over there? That's my house. There's someone in there I don't want in there. Think you can get him out?
You got it, boss.
Oh, hi.
Hey, gotta pack your stuff. Company house. Can't stay here no more.
But this is my house, the only house I have.
Too bad. Government's out. You're not the only one, though.
man would use different methods to persuade innocent men into joining the war, and all of them doing it in 4 minutes.
Hurry, people, get your cars! Cars so cheap, they're the next biggest deal. Up to $1,000 your first year back.
So you're saying, if I buy this car, you are guaranteeing $1,000 cash back?
Why, yes, I am. The company will pay you back within a year. Oh, no, you're not lying. Just so you can sell your car. Well, you'll just have to wait until we call you to accept the check.
You're a scam. You're just telling people what they want to hear so you can sell your merchandise.
No. We have no passive lying. I am simply selling him a vehicle that'll benefit him in the long run. Sold!
Shut up and take my money!
Of course, and mine. I'll also need your social security numbers.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 9, 6, 5, 2, 1.
Don't forget your card.
Don't forget.